It's our December 2022 edition. We are in Downtown Mesa in front of our Christmas tree. We're happy to be here. I'm Sally Harrison, President and CEO of the Mesa Chamber. You may have seen some changes and some new things that we've done with Mesa Morning Light. It's where we go out and visit some of our members and showcase what they are doing in their businesses. There's also another change. We have a new host for Mesa Morning Live, Tony Noakes. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I go back with Mesa. I do have a history. I worked at the city of Mesa, 86 through 90. Of course, I was only 6 years old at the time. But do the math. I know you're all doing it. But I worked in the AV department, the people who are helping us put this on today. I was one of the second of the two people that started the department as a courtesy of Helen Pence, the past public information officer who pushed for this department to be developed, and she was instrumental in it growing. And as a result, a lot of the people that we hired are still working for the department today. So it's wonderful to be back here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like coming home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we're really happy that you're here. So let's talk about this Christmas tree.
You mean the 4-story Christmas tree?
That one, yeah.
The elephant in the room? Well, it's magnificent.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that's courtesy of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce?
It is, yes. Fortunately, Mayor Giles started Mary Main Street back up a few years ago, and 8 years ago, we contacted some of our chamber members who we knew would support the idea of a really big tree to make a really big statement. And we have a lot of sponsors, a lot of our members that have stepped forward and supported us and sponsored this tree.
Speaking of trees that you normally have presents at the bottom, where would I be looking to find mine?
At your house.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that too.
Yes, yeah, it is. It's a great tree. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we should move on with our show.
Yes, Tony. Thank you very much. We'll get started. We've got other people for you to visit with.
Great.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Indeed, it is the holiday season. So we're all out there looking for that gift for that loved one or that special one in our lives. And what better place to shop than Amazon? So joining us today is Mr. John Pombier. He is new to Amazon. They created a department just for him because he's that special. John, tell us about your title and tell us why they created your department.
So my name is John Pombier. I am the Senior Manager for Community Engagement for Amazon in the Phoenix region. So basically the Phoenix metro area and probably most of Arizona. And they created this because we have leadership principles in Amazon. And one of those leadership principles is with success and scale brings broad responsibility. And what that basically says is we have to do better. Each and every day within the communities that we live and work, we have to do better. And we have a strong presence here in Arizona. We have employees, we have facilities, and we felt it was time for, within Arizona and the Phoenix region, for us to be a community partner also. So they created the community engagement role, which we have 16 nationwide.
Now that's the name of your department?
Community engagement.
It's your title?
Yes.
Okay.
They created this role here in Arizona so that we could show people it's not only a great place to shop during the holidays, but we're a good community partner. And it was time that we had a broader role here in Arizona.
Speaking of a broader role, tell us what you hope to accomplish with this new venture, new department.
I think the number one thing we hope to accomplish is to surprise and delight people in the local communities. You can expect that we'll give to some of the charities everybody knows the names of. But what Amazon really wants to do is be a player at the hyper-local level. We want you to go, be watching a Little League sports game and see that Amazon sponsored them on the back and think, wow, I didn't expect to see Amazon here. We want to give people a seat at the table that don't generally have a seat at the table. So we really want to have that hyper-local impact so people realize that our giving in these areas, it's intentional because we want to be impactful at the local level.
So in terms of technology, Amazon's always been on the cutting edge of technology, specifically as it pertains to retail and the customer online. What technology are you guys bringing to Arizona?
I think the most exciting thing right now that we're bringing to Arizona is our Rivian vehicles. Rivian vehicles are all electric, vehicles that will deliver our packages. Think about that. Clean, quiet, sustainable transportation to deliver the packages all throughout the valley so that you're not hearing them, and it's sustainable, and we're creating something that's better for the environment. Right now, we have over 1,000 of these vehicles in 100 cities nationwide, and our commitment is that by 2030, we will have over 100,000 Rivian all-electric vehicles throughout the country. We've made a pledge to become carbon neutral, and we not only want to be a good community member, be a good business, but we believe it's our duty to be sustainable and to be that positive role model for the rest of the community. So we've made that pledge to be carbon neutral so that people understand we're here for the long haul, excuse the pun with the Rivian vans, and we want to be a sustainable, good partner.
That's fantastic. Wow, I had no idea you guys were that dedicated to being carbon neutral, so I wish you all the luck on that. Earlier you talked about giving, charities, things of that nature. Families that may be struggling this time of year, how can they benefit from a relationship with Amazon?
That's a great question. Amazon has what's known as Amazon Access. Most people don't know what Amazon Access is. Amazon Access is a program that allows you to find programs and discounts available to make Amazon more affordable. So for example, it helps people find if they're eligible for SNAP benefits, and we can even give them an app that allows them to sign up for SNAP benefits on their phone.
Wow.
It gives them access to an Amazon layaway program. That's a program where they can purchase something on Amazon like they used to get layaway in the stores and pay for it over time. We also have Prime Access. Everybody knows about Amazon Prime. Thursday Night Football had a great football game last night, 17-16, I think. But Amazon Prime is something that we provide to our customers. Prime Access is that same program provided at a discounted rate for people who qualify for government assistance. So they can get Amazon Prime at less than half of what it costs normal people, and that makes our services more available to them at a cost that they can afford. So when we think about the families struggling in our community, we created Amazon Access to give them the same access everyone else has at a more affordable rate, so that we are giving a voice to all the members of our community.
Got it. And in terms of Amazon hiring, where are you guys at on that?
So,
cut to the chase. What's in it for Mesa?
We have over 40,000 employees in Arizona. Yeah. We have almost 40 operations facilities, 6-7 corporate offices. So we have quite the presence. We provide a platform that over 37,500 small businesses use to grow their business within the state of Arizona. And if you're just going on to Amazon, we provide access to over 20,000 nonprofits that just by shopping on Amazon, you can donate through our Amazon Gives program. So when it comes to hiring in Arizona, we're always hiring during the holidays, and we're looking for people to do that, and we try to create a place where they can work full or part-time. They can hit a schedule that fits their thing with benefits and with the opportunity to get education and grow within the company. Amazon's one of those companies that likes to grow their own too. Bring people in and let them go from the very entry levels all the way up through the organization. So we understand one of our leadership principles I told you about was hire and develop the best. And that's not just for corporate employees, that's for all the employees we hire. We try to hire the best, and then we try to develop them so they can have a career that they believe fulfills their needs and helps us out with Amazon.
Absolutely.
And that's the ultimate goal.
The two-way street is always the balanced way to do things.
Yes.
John, thank you so much. I know you guys are busy this time of year. You're busy all year round, for that matter. But I want to thank you for your all-encompassing concepts. We're looking forward to seeing those proof of concepts. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
This morning's Community Spotlight is sponsored by Gateway Bank, and this time around, as opposed to the past, we're going to do something a little bit different as a result of coming out of a pandemic. Who knew? But the point is, the pandemic has obviously altered all of our lives, and how we will conduct ourselves from this point forward, as a result, has been altered as well. that also goes for the nonprofit community that's out there. And we wanted to share and talk a little bit about that today on Mesa Morning Live. So joining me are three great leaders of our community. And let's give a warm, enthusiastic welcome to Save the Family News CEO, Robin Julian, right here.
Thank you.
And then we have Jackie Shelley in the middle over here from Paz de Cristo. And then, of course, Kayla Kohler, the new CEO from House of Refuge. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
Welcome.
for having us.
Absolutely. Okay, enough about me. Let's talk about you. But again, thank you for joining. To begin with, why don't you tell us each a little bit about your organizations so we can understand it? And to make sure everybody knows who's who, be sure and mention the name of your organization in your explanation. Robin, let's begin with you.
Sure. Well, Save the Family Foundation of Arizona was founded about 30 years ago, and our mission is to work side by side with families to help them address poverty, overcome homelessness, and also get on that path towards self-sufficiency. And we're one of the leading providers of housing and support services in the state of Arizona. We're actually two organizations. We have our Save the Family Foundation, which supplies the supportive services, as well as our affordable rental movement component, which is the real estate component of our organization. But what makes our organization so special is the 50+ employees that lead with compassion and with caring and with a heart every day to help serve the homeless community in the state. So thank you so much.
Well said. Thank you. Jackie.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me. I'm here representing Paz de Cristo Community Center. We've been in the Mesa area for about 34 years. Our mission is to feed, clothe, and empower our neighbors in need. And we do that with a nightly hot meal service every night of the year. Even through the pandemic, we did not miss one meal. We have a food box program, we have a clothing bank, a job center, and a host of wraparound empowerment services to help our neighbors lift themselves out of their circumstances. We serve primarily homeless and working poor, and I'm excited to be here representing our organization, the many guests that we serve, and a special shout out to my staff. We're a small but mighty staff who's been serving this community for 34 years.
Good for you. And speaking of dinner, what time should I be there tonight?
5:15 to 6:15. We serve dinner in our dining room.
All right. All right, and of course, Kayla, tell us about your organization.
Thank you, Tony. Since 1996, House of Refuge has provided transitional housing in a neighborhood setting to homeless families. We provide case management services, education and employment opportunities, a community center for the kids, a teen center for our teens, and we do everything we can to help our families figure out what got them into homelessness in the first place so that they can leave us and be self-sufficient and never be homeless again. And we couldn't do anything without our staff, our wonderful board, and our volunteers. We always need volunteers.
You got that. All right. We'll just stay with you, Kayla.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about your organization's needs this holiday season.
Well, we have already filled our Adopt a Family. We do that every year. We feed our families, and people in the community are so generous they've stepped up to adopt a family for their meals. We're having our big Christmas in the Neighborhood event tomorrow. If people still want to give, we are a tax credit organization, and all of that money will go directly into services for the family. So our families are going to be showered with love during this holiday season.
And I hope you're showered with money as well to support your efforts.
Thank you.
How about you, Jackie?
Oh, during this season, well, we of course, we appreciate the partnership with Amazon. We encourage all of our donors to shop smile.amazon and name Paz de Cristo as your charity of choice if you prefer, or any of the amazing charities in Mesa that are doing great work. We're always looking for volunteers for our shower service, our food box program. So if you're interested in a service project, to come and contact us as well. And we're always looking for donors. So if you are looking for some place to use your tax credit money, we're happy to help you through that process.
I like that. You're happy to help me.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. You know, my fourth wife used to say the same thing. I digress. Let's move on. How about you, Robin?
Well, same with the Save the Family Foundation of Arizona. We are so fortunate to work with so many great families. In fact, the majority of our families, we work with over 600 families a year, majority of are headed up by single parents. And the majority of them are people of color, so there's a great need out there. For the holiday season, we have a variety of programs. We just finished off our Thanksgiving food drive, and now we're rolling in this next week for our holiday adopt-a-family, and we've been so wonderfully and generously supported by our community for those items. And just like these other organizations, we have a wonderful tax credit program as well. And so don't forget to check that box. And it's so great in the state of Arizona that singles can give $400 and married filing jointly can give up to $800, and it doesn't cost you any money. So you get all of that money back on your taxes. So it's a wonderful opportunity to support our great organizations.
Okay, getting back to the sub-theme, post-pandemic, what changes, Robin, we're going to go with you.
Sure.
What changes have your organization seen, say, this last year, now that we're, quote unquote, officially out of the pandemic?
Well, that's
as it pertains to homelessness.
Sure. First and foremost, I mean, the need is great in our community. Homelessness has increased substantially. Yeah. Just since 2021 in Maricopa County, we've experienced a 40% increase in the number of homeless families, and we're at a 13-year high for eviction rates. So the need is so great, and it's very much challenging to serve that need. One of the things that our funders, our leadership, our community are searching for are permanent, lasting solutions to the homeless problem. And a couple of years ago, Save the Family initiated a brand new program called Step Up to Independence. And very quickly, it's an opportunity for families to work with us side by side for a period of up to 2 years. They must participate in our programs, including career counseling, financial literacy. They must stay employed. And during that time, they don't pay rent, but they do pay a $500 program fee, and they are very much encouraged to save. After successfully completing that program, they receive all of that money back. And most of our families exit the program successfully with a check for about $10,000 or more. Well, you can imagine that's a great start. That's first and last month's rent. It's an opportunity to pay off some bills that they've accumulated, but it's a true fresh start, a good foundation for moving forward, and an opportunity to really become self-sufficient for these families. We've had a lot of success. In fact, our goal when we originally started the program was we anticipated 75% of those families becoming significantly more financially stable. Well, we blew that goal out of the water, and we have 93% of our families are just really crushing it and in much more solid shape than ever before. So that's working out really well for us.
That brings new meaning to the old biblical phrase, teach a man to fish, he eats for a day. Teach him, or give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
That's right.
That's what you guys are doing.
We are.
Fantastic. Jackie, what about you?
Well, we see that the face of homelessness is changing considerably since the pandemic, partially because of the economic downturn that the pandemic really kind of got rolling. We're seeing a rise in senior homelessness.
Senior homelessness?
Senior citizen homelessness, yes. We at PAWS see it quite often. A lot of older folks are being priced out of their housing and they're living in their cars. So they're coming to Paz de Cristo to get assistance with that. So we are seeing that trend. The way that we are, everybody's trying to end homelessness, and everybody wants that answer of what you can do. The way that we're looking at it is we're still going to respond with the services that we provide for that crisis. Enough food to get you through, a food box to get you through a food emergency, help you stretch your dollars a little bit more. But I think the way we can truly end homelessness is to try to prevent it or head it off at the pass. So looking at the root causes of homelessness and food insecurity and seeing how we can fill that need. And at Paz de Cristo, we're looking at how we can support the families and those we serve. Our campus serves as a hub for other nonprofits that provide services that we don't. So, for example, we have Circle the City that comes to our campus to provide medical care. We have Spectrum Medical that comes and they provide different types of testing and labs as well. Copa Health is on our campus to help with homeless solutions because we don't provide homes or housing solutions. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but we serve as a central hub where people can come and they can get the services that they need while they are trying to lift themselves up and out of poverty.
That's amazing. You say, I'm sure I'm missing a few, yet you just threw a huge net out there of the services and safety net that you guys provide. So thank you.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
How about you, Kayla?
Tony, I came to House of Refuge in January of 2021 at the height of the pandemic. And it was quite an interesting time to try to do direct services to individuals and families. Everything was closed to in-person services at that point in time. So things have changed dramatically in the last 2 years. And the pandemic really changed a lot of things for people. Whenever I came to House of Refuge, we were in partnership with the City of Mesa, and we were operating a food distribution for the entire community. So we had repurposed some of our staff, like, for example, our community center staff that could not work with our children directly, so they operated the food distribution that we had. And anyone in the community could come to our location and pick up a food box on Thursdays and Fridays. And as we saw the need decreasing at the beginning of that year, then we started reopening our services. And we only serve families, so they have to have custody of a minor child. We have about 250 people that live with us every day, and about 100 of those are adults and 150 are kids. 85% of the people that we serve are single moms. And about half of those come out of domestic violence situations. So the need that we have seen over the last 2 years, for example, the number of people that call for inquiry about housing has more than doubled in the last year. So people that never found themselves homeless before are just being priced out of the rental market, and they don't know where to go. And homelessness and affordable housing is just at a crisis level. And so we do everything that we can, again, much like these other ladies, to help people get back on their feet. Everything they get while they're with us at House of Refuge, they take with them when they leave, so they don't have to start over again. And we really want to help them find the solution so they are not unhoused anymore. But it is tough. I mean, the pandemic really changed everything. One thing at House of Refuge that we have just done, we are opening a teen center. Our teens really took a hit during the pandemic, and we feel like they need a little special love and care right now. So we've hired our first ever youth engagement coordinator to work with those kiddos to try to help them with their mental health issues, to come out of isolation, to re-engage with our community, with just people in general. So we're very optimistic about the future. Again, we can't do it without the community like these other organizations, but homelessness is something that definitely needs attention, and I'm very excited that the City of Mesa takes it very seriously, and they're trying to help find the solution.
Indeed, the City of Mesa has always been extremely proactive. At least my experience has been with them over the decades, watching things, having worked for the city. We've kind of touched on this last question I wanted to ask you ladies, but let's follow through on that. With new leadership comes new visions, thoughts, ideas. So we've already touched on a little bit, but Robin, what is your vision of the future for your organization?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Well, you know, we always want to look at new and innovative ways to make a positive impact. One of the things that's very exciting about...
Hang on a second. Say that last part again.
One of the things that's very exciting about Save the Family is we are embarking on something really new and different for our organization. In fact, it's the first in Arizona, and that is the Family Scholar House model. And it's exciting because it's really a workforce development combined with affordable housing. We're looking to complete, and we haven't started it yet, but this is all in the works. We're looking to complete a complex that holds 60 housing units, and people will be able to stay there rent-free or at a reduced rent while they are completing their education. And so this is really about a lot of different partnerships coming together to do this. But what we see is it helps, it gets people back in school so they can increase their wages, and it's really solving a multi-generational problem because kids see their parents working hard, getting that higher level job, and so it's very exciting. It's been proven out very successfully across the country, and this one will be the first in Arizona, so we're thrilled to be bringing that to the forefront.
Oh man, you're giving me goosebumps. I love that. That's a great program. That's fantastic.
It is. We can't wait to get started on it.
Well, I wish you well on that.
Thank you.
And Jackie, how about you?
I'm very excited about where Paz de Cristo is going now that we've emerged from our pandemic and we can look to the future. We are looking at 3 target populations. Obviously, our senior citizens. They're a new group of homeless who are are struggling or they're barely making it. And so we're going to be focusing on providing programs that help them to help themselves. Things like if you are a lady who likes to do arts and crafts and you want to make those and sell them on some place like Etsy. Our seniors aren't very comfortable online, so providing classes and coaching on how to do that and how to be comfortable with that. We're also looking at the group of kids, I call them COVID kids. My son graduated from high school just last May. And he struggled during COVID between being at home and being hybrid and everything. And a lot of the kids who now they've come out with mental health issues, maybe they barely graduated, maybe they didn't graduate at all. It's going to be very difficult for them to support themselves. So looking at offering GED assistance so that you can get that high school diploma, so that you can go out into the job market. Or partnering with the trades. We know that skilled labor, there are not a lot of skilled labor people out there seeking positions in that. And so partnering with the trades and providing apprenticeships and helping our youth to figure out, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? And maybe I want to be a welder, so I've gone and partnered with a welding company. Well, you need a certification, so we can help you get those certifications while you're building an apprenticeship, and then that business gets a skilled laborer.
You're building the path to get those
Yes.
higher paying jobs instead of thinking the only thing is the entry level jobs that are
Yes.
out there, which are obviously easy to find. The ones you're talking about, not so hard to find, hence the path you're building. It's phenomenal.
Right. And then we're also looking at our veterans. We do see, we're seeing an increase in veterans who are needing our services, especially in the substance abuse and mental health area. And so how can we support them? You know, they are their own community, and sometimes it's very difficult for them to ask for help. So we provide a place where in our dining room we have navigators from Copa Health and Community Bridges that kind of build that rapport with them so that when they are ready to ask for assistance, they trust somebody. And we're that one-stop shop, and we're going to rally around them and be their cheerleaders. So those are the 3 target populations that we're looking at. We're also looking to become a little more mobile, adding a food truck and taking our hot meal service out to some of the food deserts. How can we get food boxes to our seniors who either can't or shouldn't be driving, but still need that assistance? So we're looking to get a little more mobile, a little more outreach, and just continue to serve those that show up at our door every night.
Fantastic. Kayla.
House of Refuge has a very bright future. I almost wish that there wasn't a need for any of our organizations, but the sad fact is that there is. And some of the services that I've heard these organizations about what they do and about what we do, some of them are the same. But I'll tell you, it's not duplication of services because the need is so great. And so we're not duplicating. Talking about the workforce, we have one mom right now who is in school to be an electrician, another one that's in school to be an HVAC technician. So again, helping them, whether it's in the trades, whether it's getting into college. We have partnerships with the area universities. We've got an exciting partnership with Alverno College coming up this next year. They are a new college in Mesa that has direct entry Masters of Nursing programs, and they're going to be doing community health on our campus. So we're excited about that kind of a partnership. House of Refuge is on federal land, and we have a 30-year lease from the federal government at no cost, and those leases will expire in another 5 to 7 years, and until then we can only do transitional housing. We receive no federal funding for transitional housing, and when those leases are up, we will own everything outright. So what the future holds, we're working on strategic plans right now for that. If the situation, the current economic situation and the housing situation stays the same, we might consider doing more affordable housing ourselves, because where do these families go? And so if the need is still that great at that time, that is certainly something that we will entertain. But until then, we will continue helping the families that find themselves at our doorstep in any way that we can.
Gotcha. Yeah, speaking of duplication, no, you've made it clear the programs are completely, the organizations are completely different and offering services and ideas succinctly different from each other. The only duplication I see here are 3 phenomenal leaders. I'm just saying. Inside voice, Tony, inside voice. All right, I lied. One last question, let's make it quick. In terms of how to get a hold of you, how do people find you? Robin.
Sure. Visit us at savethefamily.org. That's savethefamily.org.
Awesome. Same with us. You can find us at Paz de Cristo refugedotwork.org. We're spreading positivity, so join us there and follow us on social media, on our Facebook, our LinkedIn, and our Instagram.
The same. We are at houseofrefuge.org, and you can find us there. You can Google us and find our phone number, and come for a tour. We'd love to show you where the miracles happen every day.
Oh, that's good.
Ladies, thank you so much for taking on the challenges of our society and for contributing to Mesa, making it the fantastic place it is to be, to live, to grow, and to enjoy. So with this holiday season, I want to give you a big thank you, and thank you for the gifts that you've bestowed upon us with your organizations, and have a safe holiday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony, and
Thank
thank
you.
you, Mesa.
Thank you very much. Okay, joining us now is the extraordinary, phenomenal, hardest working man in show business and for the city of Mesa, Mayor John Giles.
Tony, good to be here. Good to be back at the Chamber of Commerce Christmas tree in the heart of downtown Mesa, kicking off Merry Main Street.
You know, Merry Main Street went away for a while. We now have a phenomenal Christmas tree back, 4 stories high. Thank you very much, all you guys getting that back for the citizens. And now that Merry Main Street is back and badder than ever in an exciting new episode in 2022, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's on the agenda for that?
You bet. This is the 8th year since we've brought back Merry Main Street. You can tell the festive environment in downtown Mesa. This is fun to be alive in downtown Mesa. And Merry Main Street has gotten a little bit better every year, and I think hopefully it'll continue to do that. So we're very fortunate to have this beautiful downtown Christmas tree. Thank you, Mesa Chamber of Commerce. I've told people the best family picture you will ever take will be in front of this Christmas tree, because particularly at nighttime, people are dancing in the streets now. We appreciate the lowrider that's at the intersection right now. At nighttime particularly, this thing just lights up. So if you don't, the reason we do Merry Main Street in the first place is to create a place for families to come to have memories, right? I have amazing memories as a child growing up in downtown Mesa and around the holidays, and we would, back then, there wasn't a lot of exciting things to do in downtown Mesa, but every year the city would put wonderful decorations on the outside Christmas lights. And so the family literally Dad would throw us in the car and we'd drive up and down Main Street just looking at the lights. And then for generations we've had a big attraction out at the LDS Temple, at the end of Main Street. So for years a lot of people have come to downtown Mesa to celebrate the holidays, and we just want to double down on that, right? We want to make sure that everybody has something to do in addition to the temple lights or the Christmas tree or the ice rink, that it all kind of syncs together.
So walk us through the next 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the focal point for our celebration of Christmas.
Right.
And what other events do we have to look forward to?
So Santa will be here every Friday and Saturday up through Christmas and including Christmas Eve. And then the ice rink that's
Wait a minute. How does that work? He's here on Christmas Eve?
Well, he's going to knock off early on Christmas Eve. Apparently, he's got other things to do Christmas Eve.
Got it.
So that might be a union thing, that he gets that night off, I guess. But you can have bring your kids down here, take a picture with Santa, take a picture in front of the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is here, obviously, every night, but if you want to be part of the Santa experience, that's Fridays and Saturdays. Also, the thing that's open every day is the ice rink. Again, just a little bit, a block east of here where we are on McDonald at Main and Center Street, right next to the City Plaza and in front of the new ASU facility is a 9,000 square foot ice rink. Woo. That's open every day, Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then on the weekends, it's noon to 10 p.m. And it's the most affordable place for your kids to have an ice skating experience. $10 that gets you an hour on the ice and the skates. And again, it's bigger than it has been in previous years. So we really hope people will take advantage of that. There's food trucks at Pioneer Park. The food truck Festival, I think they call it, and that's going to be also on weekends. And that's very complimentary to going to the Christmas lights at the LDS Temple. So, and the temple those lights are open every night as well. So that's, there's lots to do, and the thing is, these are all connected as well. So, and the light rail service is free in downtown during the holiday season. So,
oh wow,
come down and go to one and hop on the light rail and go to the other, or it's really actually a pretty short walk between those things.
Well, you guys have figured it out. That's fantastic. What a way to spend your evenings.
Well, in all honesty, it is, I think, really one of the best places in the valley to celebrate the holidays. I think it's probably the most affordable place in the valley to celebrate the holidays.
Plus, you get ice skating in the desert. Who knew? So, Mayor, you obviously have proven to us that Mesa is legendary with their Christmas holidays and how we entertain the masses during the holiday season. But there's this little story I keep hearing about by a gentleman named John McPhee, and that's legendary as well. Can you give us a little tease about that?
Yes, this is a really fun and absolutely true story about celebrating the holidays in downtown Mesa. We call the story "The Man Who Killed Santa Claus," and so it sounds a little creepy, but it's actually a really nice story. And actually, for Channel 11 viewers, I think that we put this on in the Mesa Arts Center the night that we lit the Christmas tree, back the day after Thanksgiving. So this might be a story that is somewhat familiar to folks who are watching Channel 11 right now. But here's how the story goes. Back during the Depression, downtown Mesa was really a thriving economic center. I mean, this is where all of the stores were. This was the retail place, the location for the valley. There was downtown Phoenix and downtown Mesa and not much in between. So this was back during the Depression. And so the economy was still struggling a little bit, so the downtown merchants figured they needed to come up with some sort of a promotion to get people to come to downtown Mesa to shop. And back then, airplanes were kind of a new thing. This was the whole Amelia Earhart, era. And so they thought, what would be cooler than having, involving airplanes somehow? And they said, well, we'll have Santa Claus, we'll put a parachute on Santa Claus, have him jump out of one of these biplanes, here over Main Street and come floating down to Main Street, and all of the children will just be clapping, and it'll be a big, big deal. So sure enough, they advertised the event. Children from far and wide, Phoenix, Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert wasn't a thing, but everybody in the valley was here on Main Street to watch Santa Claus jump out of an airplane. Now the only problem was the only guy in Mesa back then who was crazy enough to agree to jump out of an airplane was also the guy that more often than not was passed out drunk, on the street somewhere. Ooh. So sure enough, that was the case, and he was inebriated and not capable of doing the job. So the merchants, had to come up with a plan B. And so the nice department store lady said, well, here's our mannequin. Let's put Santa Claus's costume on the mannequin. And the pilot can, throw him out of the airplane, pull the ripcord, and we'll just have somebody else, in a Santa costume, jump out from behind the bushes, and we'll figure that out.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong with that? This is kind of a WKRP in Cincinnati moment, isn't it? So that happened. They threw Santa out, pulled the ripcord, chute did not open. So all of the children of greater Maricopa County were assembled on the streets of downtown Mesa to watch Santa drop like a rock, to plummet to his death, actually. And I'm not trying to be funny. It actually was a traumatic experience for the people, especially the children that were there. So John McPhee, who was the downtown merchant, guy at the time, he ultimately had to leave town. I think it probably had something to do with this event. He had went on to have a nice career. He was the mayor of Durango, Colorado at some point. But when he passed away, the obituary that they ran for John McPhee in the Mesa Tribune was, "The man who killed Santa Claus has died."
Oh, man.
So this is a great story. It's a true story. It's one that we love to tell at Christmas time because the spirit behind it is that downtown Mesa has always strived to be a great place to celebrate the holidays.
Sure. Wow. Yeah, that's That's a killer story you got there. But
No pun
anyway.
intended, huh?
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for your time here.
You bet.
Thank you for Mary Main Street. Thank you for the wonderful Christmas tree. And thank you for everything that you do for the city of Mesa and its citizens.
My pleasure. Thank you. Welcome, Tony. Good to have you on
Thank you, sir.
Mesa Morning Live.
I'm honored to be here. And to all of you, thank you so much for watching today. And please know that we want you all to have a very, very safe holiday season. And wishing you all the best from the Mesa Chamber of Commerce and, of course, from Mesa Morning Live. Stay safe out there. Have fun. See you next time.